Hi everyone, it's Jakey again, and we're back for the final part of our Empyrean Armor Plus 3 review. Reminder, you can check the description for timestamps for each of the jobs included. And if these aren't the jobs you're looking for, you might want to check out parts 1 and parts 2. So first we have Beastmaster. The plus 2 set was decent, but nothing terribly exciting. I guess I'll just jump right into the plus 3. So here we have the plus 3. The head, I mean, you can use it for DT, but I don't really see that as very useful. The body. So the augments killer effect is actually a very strong ability if you stack killer effects correctly. Uh, Being able to have weapon skill damage plus 12 at the same time is also pretty big. Uh, there's no MAB on the body, so it's still not very good for your elemental weapon skills, but it should be. I mean, even without the killer effect, it does have more strength than the Niame, but you're losing double attacks. So, uh, could go either way here. You do get the axe skill in addition to the accuracy and attack, so it's a lot of accuracy and attack total. So yeah, this is a pretty good weapon skill body. And if you can use killer effect, of course, it blows everything out of the water. If you can't use killer effects, it's a bit more debatable with the Niame. Uh, I would have to basically go weapon skill by weapon skill, I think. But yeah, I mean, solid body. The hands, you're gonna use it for the TP bonus for your pet. Um, yeah, and that's basically it. Uh, Legs. I mean, there is some value in making a really strong pet DT set. I know back in Abyssia days, just stacking DT for your pet uh, basically let Beastmaster solo most of Abyssia, so that was kind of cool. Here we've got nice Stout Servant, which is DT for your pet, in addition to DT for yourself on the same piece. So that's a pretty nice combo there. Keep both you and your pet survivable. But that's pretty much the only use of this. Feet. So we've got the PDL on the feet with double attack. Those go well together. Uh, yeah, I think this is a pretty strong PDL piece for Beast. Uh, Beast does get a lot of attack now if they want, so they can make use of a lot of PDL. And X has a lot of like multi-hit weapon skills like decimation that they use. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure this will find some use. Um, Overall, the set's magic evasion it's almost good enough, but it's just not quite there. So that kind of makes that does limit its use cases. But uh, otherwise, I mean, you got pet accuracy on everything, um, and some clear use cases for several of the pieces. So yeah, it's all right. Okay, Corsair. The bus two set was good. I ended up making all 5 pieces. They all have some decent uses. Uh, of course, it says triple attack when it actually is triple shot. So we'll see if that's fixed for the plus 3. Nope, still triple attack. Come on, Square Enix. Come on. Uh, Head more rapid shot. I mean, rapid shot is not really the ideal way of increasing your shooting speed, but more of it is better than less of it. So sure. The body now up to 14 triple shot. That's nice. I should note the tactician's roll effect used to be bugged, but it is working last I checked. So uh, that's good to know that you do want to use this for tacticians now, even though previously it didn't work. Hands. Yeah, these are really, really good hands. So increased phantom roll, of course, absolutely want that. Uh, Weapon skill damage plus 12 on the hand slot, so that's easily your best there. You are missing MAB, so you're not going to use this for leaden, but for all your ranged physical weapon skills, you're definitely using this. Does it make it into Savage Blade? Well, there's no attack on it, so that does hurt it a bit. Yeah, I mean it's got decent strength of mind. Uh, I could go either way on that. It does hurt not having any melee attack on it, but uh, for ranged physicals, I think it's very clear the winner, and obviously you can use it for Phantom Roll. So yeah, those are pretty good. Legs now up to 12 store TP, so we're well past Malignance now. 9 snapshot. That's not the best you can get for snapshot in the leg slot, but that's certainly a usable amount if you don't have something better or if you've kept it elsewhere. You got DT on there. So obviously you would use this for mid shot. For meleeing, we do need to be careful. The haste is low. So if you're just using this with Malignance, you will not have enough haste. But also keep in mind, with such high accuracy, and it actually has dexterity, so it has even more accuracy. Most legs do not come with any dexterity. So overall, this is actually I think this is your highest accuracy leg slot for meleeing. And so I could totally see using this in conjunction with the Gazu bracelets, also for high accuracy. So like when you really need a lot more melee accuracy, use these together. The Gazu bracelets, of course, make up for the haste deficiency of these legs. So that's one use case. Also, of course, if you're single wielding for some reason, you could just use the haste belt, and that would also fix the haste issue. So yeah, there's definitely some use cases for meleeing in these, and easy decision to mid shot in these. So yeah, pretty solid legs here. And then the feet. Okay, we're up to 50 MAB, and we've increased the quick draw even more. So yeah, I think you definitely use these for quick draw. I don't think there's really anything to debate there now. Because you're basically just getting that bonus that's not costing you damage now. So and that's a 31% damage bonus for element of the quick draw used in quick succession afterwards. You only get like a few second window, but it can, I mean, that's a pretty dramatic damage increase. So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, overall, I mean, nothing here is really changing what you're doing on core, but solid upgrades all around. So it's pretty good. Okay, dancer. Of course, the head is what we all look at here. Uh, Now, honestly, the problem here when you go to +3, I mean, you're probably already hitting cap damage. What does upgrading this even more anymore do? So, I guess we will check that out. So yeah, we're up to 12 weapon skill damage, and we've increased the climatic bonus to 31. Okay, if your climatic Rudros are not hitting cap damage with this thing, there's something wrong. That's just crazy. Also, 10 store TP, you're now a decent amount above Malignance in terms of store TP in the head slot. You do lack magic evasion and DT though, so a bit more glass cannon if you want to use it that way. Other thing to consider, yeah, you're gonna be weapon skilling in this, even when without climatic, at least for like Rudros. I don't know what else to say other than just it's really good. The body still has dual wield. Come on, Square Enix. They do not need dual wield. Stop it. I don't know that dancers use striking flourish much, but I mean, this seems like it should be a decent bonus to it. I just hate to have the dual wield though. Yeah. Hands. I mean, you'll use it for reverse flourish. You don't want a weapon skill in these, and you dancer has a problem in that their skill chain bonus tends to cap out, so you really don't want to use a piece that's purely skill chain bonus. And even if you weren't you're competing with Niame, which has almost as much skill trade bonus and actually boosts the damage. So no, no for the hands. Legs. So we got the 10 PDL on the leg slot, and you get the dagger skill with the accuracy and attack. So that means you're gonna have a lot of attack to help support that PDL. So that's a nice combination there. There's no dexterity on these legs. Yeah, I'll have to pull up Glady to compare. But first, let's take a look at the shoes. So, of course, the feather step bonus is nice. Like, that's actually really good. In addition to that, you've got 12 store TP with 10 DT. I'm pretty sure this is still behind your, relic feed or whatever. They have the positional store TP, but, I mean, do you really want to rely on positional? And this is more store TP than Malignance and more DT, but you're losing out on the magic evasion. So if you are trying to make like a glass cannon build, you would use these feet with this head. The DT would help kind of make up for the lack of DT on the head. Your magic evasion would suck, but you would get a ton of store TP. Then you just have to fill out the rest of your set. Now it kind of depends on what weapon you're aiming for, but yeah, I mean, I could see those being used together. Yeah, I mean, you're going to want it for the feather step regardless, but potential TP option with the feet. So now we have to check out the Gledy. Okay, so here's the Gledy. So comparing the legs here, you got 2 more PDL, 5 less strength. Neither of them have any dex. I mean, a bit more charisma. So it's a lot more accuracy. Now, of course, if you're talking like evisceration or something that can crit, you get the crit rate on the Gledy, but for most of the other weapon skills, crit's not really an option. So yeah, I think overall these are probably better than Gledy for most of your weapon skills. Now, of course, that's like the first analysis here. Then the next one is like, well, do I use this as like in terms of when I'm adding in my PDL pieces, like where does it go in the order? So like, you know, the first 2 pieces are obviously going to be your neck and your earring, because that costs you the least in terms of getting those PDL in there. You're probably, I mean, if you get the +2 area, you're probably using both of those regardless then of if you need PDL or not, just for the other stats. So then is this like your third or your fourth PDL piece in a set? And I think for Rudra's, I mean, this would probably be my third piece for a Rudra's set. But for your mythic weapon skill or evisceration and stuff like that, well, evisceration, I think you prefer the Glady regardless for the crit rate. But for your mythic weapon skill, I might switch the Gledy body before I would switch to these legs, just because then you're getting all the double attack in there too. But yeah, I mean, they're a solid PDL piece. It's just you do have some serious competition there thanks to the Gledy set. So your body is kind of junk, but the rest of the set's pretty good. So, and of course the head does some nutty things. So I think you did all right on Dancer. Ninja. So at the +2, I considered Ninja basically the worst of the MP +2 sets. The head is, I mean, no. The body, I actually consider the Migawari bonus to, in most circumstances, be a negative, and it's the only thing of any use on the body, so no. I mean, yeah, you can do some like counter build shenanigans on Ninja, and that's certainly pushing that with the legs, but the only pieces we really use are the hands and the feet. We were already using them both at the +1, and they both basically got like nothing of value going to the +2. They added the magic burst damage to the hands, which, I mean, it's something, but you're still only using it for the fute, It just means that when you're magic bursting with Fute, it's a bit better. And they still didn't put any MAB or magic damage on here. You've got the ninjutsu damage, which is essentially just magic attack bonus, but only for ninjutsu. So the feet, you just use them for the Utsusemi. Now, presumably, we add some weapon skill damage on here. It'll be something. Also, of course, they continue with the whole what is this critical parry versus tactical parry nonsense? Why are we changing terms? Like, what's going on? Anyways, let's check out the +3. So here's the +3. Still dual wield to lower your TP gain, and the conditional double attack where you have to have the in and buff and be behind the monster to get the double attack. Increase the Migawari even more on the body. So the reason I don't like increasing Migawari is it still has a recast time, and I don't want to keep lowering the percent of HP loss before it activates even more, because as soon as it activates and blocks something, the buff goes away, and then you're vulnerable until your recast is over and you can cast it again. So I actually don't want it activating anymore at this point. Your ninjutsu skill also lowers that threshold, and so with master levels, I've lowered that threshold more honestly than I would like. So I don't want anything to lower that threshold more, and so I really don't want to use this body. You could technically, just swap it in when you're at low health. But I'd rather, just have a healer that heals me when I'm at low health. But, I realize that's not always an option. Hands, there's still no magic attack bonus, still no magic damage. So, I mean, there's essentially 18 magic attack bonus, but only for ninjutsu. And it's only 18. Meanwhile, everyone else is getting like 40, 50, no problem. Ninja, you get 18 and it's extra conditional. The 15 magic burst damage, I mean, that's a lot. I could see this possibly getting into magic burst sets even without Fute, just for the magic burst damage, but only if you've got enough, like, other stats that you can swap in by not doing magic burst damage pieces and slots, and I'm not sure that there is, since so much of it is Nyame. But I mean, I'll have to sit down and see what I can do there. The Fute bonus getting bigger is nice. The best thing about Fute, of course, is you go to do something and you're with some like noob black mage, and so you just pop Fute, you don't say anything, and then you magic burst for more than the black mage, and they're just sitting there like, what the hell? And it's like, yeah, well, then we go over to the legs. Even more counter. So I mean, the counter build is starting to get a little bit more viable. Obviously, the way counter works, it caps at 80%, so you kind of want to get all the way to 80% if you're gonna go that route. So then you're essentially negating 80% of incoming attacks and then doing some damage back in return. The problem, of course, is counter happens after shadows, so it doesn't really make much sense unless you're fighting something that you're having trouble keeping shadows up against. But most of the time when that happens, they aren't really counterable either. So it's I'm not really sold on that still. The feat, still just one Utsusemi, so nothing really to get excited about here. We do get the 12 weapon skill damage, but there's no MAB on this piece either. So it's only for physical weapon skills. But I mean, I guess I can't get too upset since at least they put accuracy and attack on their weapon skill damage piece, unlike on their AF head. Why does Ninja get the worst JSC? So yeah, I mean, you'll be using it probably for Savage Blade, because I mean, that's where we're at these days, right? For physical weapon skills. Okay, Paladin. So, I mean, the big problem with this set is its magic evasion. It's just not good enough. Uh, Also, there's been a bunch of reports of the body causing people to take random large chunks of damage in Wave 3 Dynamis Divergence. And so I'd be afraid to use the body until that is sorted out. Uh, but, I mean, at least the feet are good for Divine Emblem. Let's check out the +3. So here's the +3. Uh, so the head is like almost good enough. Like it's not the best fast cast head, but you get a bunch of DT with it. So if you can make it work in your fast cast set, it would make your fast cast set a lot more survivable, and you would be getting MP back in your fast cast set too, and you're taking damage when you're caught in it. So that's nice. Also, shield skill, of course, is nice for getting those shield blocks up. So yeah, I could see maybe using this. I mean, the problem again is just your magic evasion on it sucks. So I don't know where I would really want to use it as like a DT piece, other than just for casting and stuff. The body 20 spell interruption rate is usable. I mean, you would be swapping it for a different spell interruption rate down 20 piece in a spell interruption rate set. But the nice thing about the body here is that it does get the plus enmity, so you could use it to get more plus enmity in your spell interruption rate set. The problems here, of course, is the variable DT with the mitigates damage based on enmity. I would just treat that as 2 DT because that's the minimum amount, and you can't rely on always having enough enmity for more than that. And of course, there are reports of people randomly getting one shot wearing the +2 version, so I would be afraid to wear the +3, at least for now. The hands shield defense bonus is calculated in the dumbest possible way, so this doesn't do much. Legs, I mean, if they had a bit more magic evasion, this could be I could conceive of using this as a tanking piece, but the magic evasion is just not quite where I'd like it, so I probably won't be using it. The feet. The feet are good for a few things. I mean, Divine Emblem, obviously, but then also the plus enmity with the fast cast. This is very good for anything you're casting for hate. So Flash, next month potentially Foil, Blue Mage spells, etc. I could definitely see using this as part of enmity set for spells because the fast cast lowers your recast time. So yeah, the feet I think are actually good. The rest is a bit more questionable. Okay, puppet. My puppet is still level 1, so I have somewhat limited knowledge here, but we'll just jump right in. Okay, the head. So you got the hand-to-hand skill with the accuracy and attack, and the double attack and the PDL. Like this seems like it should be great for weapon skills, especially hand-to-hand weapon skills. The problem here is you're competing with the Mipaka head, which has a TP bonus. So now, not every hand-to-hand weapon still cares a lot about the TP bonus. I could certainly see using this for like maybe like a victory smite, something like that. But I think most of your weapon skills you're kind of wanting to go with Mapaka. Uh, so I mean, there's some potential here, but it's kind of in the wrong slot. Like if they put this stat line in almost any other slot, it'd be like definitely you're using this for your hand-to-hand weapon skills. But here I'm like, I don't know about that. Now the TP bonus for your pet, I'm assuming that's gonna be good. Like that's got to be good, right? Uh, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I don't play puppet. Body. Only thing that stands out here to me is the overload rate. So if that's something that helps you, then you might want this body. If it's not, then you won't want it. Hands. So to me, this looks like uh, hands that are meant for when you want a DPS alongside your pet, because it's giving your pet a bunch of decent DPS stats, and it's giving you a very solid amount of store TP and DT. So I think this is meant for you fighting alongside your pet, trying to do damage. I don't know how much puppets really do that, but if you are, this seems like it should be a reasonable option. Legs. The way martial arts works, that's just not a lot of martial arts. Also, I think your mythic has like really low delay, so you probably don't need any martial arts. At least if you're using the mythic. Um, so the big question here is, what does the skill plus 33 do? If that's something useful, then you might use these legs, otherwise not so much. Um, okay. The feet. So if you want to use tactical switch, I assume you want to use these feet for it. And weapon skill damage plus 12. The problem is, again, that weapon skill damage does very little for hand-to-hand weapon skills the way they work, so probably not for that. Does Puppet use any other weapons? Do they use a staff? I don't remember. Uh, you might use it for some like weird weapon combos, but you're not going to be wanting to use that for hand-to-hand, I don't think. Uh, and then you're giving the automaton 30 int mind and some accuracy. I haven't seen a nuking automaton be very effective, but I mean, maybe if you're trying to do a nuking automaton, you would want these feet for the 30 int. I don't know. That seems ambitious, but you can try, I guess. Okay, we've made it. Last job of the last part of the guide. So Rune Fencer. Last but certainly not least. At the +2 level, we got several very notable pieces here. The head, of course, amazing for enhancing magic. The legs and feet, I just straight up use them for tanking in. The body is a fast cast option, but it's tied with some other options. And hands are actually pretty good accuracy pieces. So let's see where we're at the +3. So +3, we've just turned the dial up, and every piece is better at what it's meant to do. So the head now 25% enhancing magic duration. And that's actually like a pretty big deal to get better enhancing duration on tanks, because then they don't have to spend so much time rebuffing, and they can spend more time actually tanking, and that's pretty good. Also, now 20 spell interruption rate down. Rune Fencer's spell interruption rate sets kind of suck right now, so anything to make them better is very much appreciated. Also, of course, more refresh potency. That's always good too. So, you're not going to be tanking in this head, but you're going to be using it a lot for pretty much all your enhancing magic other than maybe Phalanx. So, great piece. Body. Now 13 fast cast. I believe that now makes it the highest fast cast body. Solid. This whole set has great magic evasion, other than maybe the hands. So great magic evasion to go with the fast cast. And if you get caught in your fast cast set, you're converting physical damage taken to MP, and you're not losing as much hate from the damage you take. So it also makes getting caught in your fast cast set a lot less painful. So I think that's a great upgrade. Obviously, like, you can already get 10 fast casts before MP +2 even came out, so it's not like gonna make you cast a lot faster, but it's these sorts of things where you're trying to swap through these sets and get caught in the wrong one, where Rune Fencer can have some issues. And so just making those sets a bit tankier, a bit more resilient, I think is actually a pretty meaningful upgrade. So that's great. Hands. So, like, the resistance to status ailments, first of all, 8 is very little. Second of all, I'm pretty sure it's halved against NM, so that's like nothing. But 62 accuracy with 38 greatsword skill. This is a ton of accuracy. And you're getting DT and solid, well, I mean, decent-ish magic evasion. I guess the hand slot usually has relatively low magic evasion, but this is still not that amazing. But so you're getting DT and a ton of accuracy. I mean, I don't think I would normally use this, but as a swap piece when you're short on accuracy, yeah, this is good. Uh, Legs. I mean, I'm already tanking with him at the +2. You get an extra Invertada, extra DT, extra enmity, extra 10 magic evasion, more max HP, more accuracy and attack. Like, yeah, these are great tanking pants. I mean, magic evasion is above Nyame now. Like, yeah, these are just really good. And the feet. Okay, why are we switching the terms again? I'm assuming all resistances is the same as resist all elements, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Why? Why do we have to keep changing things, Square Enix? Come on. I'm just gonna. But if I'm just operating off the assumption it's the same thing, reminder how the elemental resistances work. There's your resist tiers actually get shifted depending on if you have a positive, neutral, or negative amount. And so just having some resistance to all elements is really, really good. You can also just get it through the waist slot, but getting him here, I think, in the feet slot is now the optimum route, since you're also getting a ton of magic evasion and DT and plus enmity as well to help you retain your hate. Yeah, I mean, these are great feat. Yeah, no, the Rune Fencer set pretty much across the board is pretty good. So, yeah, Rune Fencer did very well. I guess I want to talk just briefly about the Empyrean set in general. I know I've been seeing a ton of complaints about it. I do think it varies a lot from job to job. I mean, you got jobs like Scholar and Summoner, and Red Mage that got everything they wanted and more, basically. And meanwhile, you got jobs like Bard that totally expected they would get +2 songs. They didn't. They didn't even like throw them a bone by giving them +2 to like one or two of their songs. That none of them got to +2 songs. So, and they didn't like if you're gonna do that, they should have at least gone and like made one or two of the pieces good to melee in or something, or have some other good use, not just purely as magic accuracy and then for singing, and then you're not boosting the singing at all. So I mean that was very disappointing. Ninja, of course, no MAB, no extra shadows. Like there's thing they could have thrown some of these jobs a bone and they didn't. Uh and I don't know, maybe that's worse because they did throw a bone to some jobs, and so some jobs like Scholar did really, really well. To the point where Black Mage is now in danger because of how strong they've made Scholar. So like there's some strange choices here. Uh that said, almost every job got some new pieces of gear that they will certainly be using. Sortie, as content goes, at least the original 4 areas, I've found very enjoyable. We've only poked around a bit in the new parts, uh, so I can't speak too much to that, but so far they seem interesting. I do like they're very magic based and magic heavy, so uh, that's giving a little bit of new life to my mage jobs. Actually, main healing Scholar and throwing out magic bursts constantly is kind of fun. Uh, so yeah, Swordy's good. Empyrean armor is good, albeit disappointing for certain jobs. Okay, well, you made it to the end of my series here. Uh, if you made it this far, I think it's safe to like and subscribe. Um, and I'll see you next time.